after a cross-country manhunt. A Northwestern University professor and University of Oxford employee are in custody for the brutal stabbing death of a 26-year-old hairstylist in Chicago. The case has involved peculiar twists, including a cash donation by one of the two suspects in the victim's name at a Wisconsin library and a videotaped confession sent to friends. The two men surrendered peacefully in California after 8 days as fugitives. Northwestern microbiologist Wyndham Latham and Oxford financial officer Andrew Warren were wanted on first-degree murder charges for the death of Trenton James Cornell Duranlo. Latham is due in court on Monday. Here's a closer look at the case. The crime: the body of 26-year-old Cornell Duranlo was found stabbed to death inside an apartment belonging to Latham in an upscale neighborhood near downtown Chicago. The July 27 attack was so violent the blade of the knife believed to have been used in the stabbing was broken, police said. Authorities said the building's front desk received an anonymous call that a crime had been committed in the 10th-floor apartment. When police opened the door, they found Cornell Duranlo's body. He had already been dead for at least 12 hours. Police said the victim and Latham had a personal relationship, but they have not elaborated or released a motive. The professor, authorities' primary target in the investigation, has been Latham, who's been on Northwestern's faculty since 2007. The 42-year-old is an associate professor of microbiology and immunology, though university officials say he primarily worked in a research lab. Published in top scientific journals, he was a sought-after speaker on pneumonic and bubonic plagues. Over the years, he taught medical students and graduate students, though he was not teaching at the time of the crime, said officials with Northwestern, which has campuses in Chicago and suburban Evanston. Investigators said Latham sent a video to friends and relatives apologizing for his involvement in the crime, which he called the biggest mistake of my life. The video raised concern among investigators that Latham might kill himself. Latham was under intensive observation over the weekend in jail, according to authorities. The visitor less is known about Warren, who's British. Warren and Latham were seen in surveillance video leaving Latham's high-rise apartment building the day of the stabbing, but it's unclear what Warren's relationship was to the other two men. He is in charge of pensions and payroll at the University of Oxford's Somerville College. Chicago police have said he is 56 years old, while California authorities booked him into jail at 49 years old. Warren arrived in the U.S. 3 days before Cornell Duranlo's death and after being reported missing in Great Britain, Chicago police confirmed. The victim, Cornell Duranlo, a Michigan native who received a cosmetology license, moved to Chicago last year. He lived in a neighborhood just southwest of downtown. Family members issued a statement asking for time to grieve before commenting further, saying they're deeply saddened by the loss. It is our hope that the person or persons responsible for the death are brought to justice, the statement read. A funeral will be held August 12 in Lennon, Michigan. On the run the day the crime was committed, police say Latham and Warren drove about 80 miles 128 kilometers northwest of Chicago to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, where one made a $1,000 cash donation to the local library in Cornell Duranlo's name. Lake Geneva authorities said the man making the donation didn't give his name. The two eluded police for 8 days before their separate surrenders Friday evening in the Bay Area. Latham turned himself in at the Oakland Federal Building roughly the same time Warren turned himself into police in San Francisco, authorities said. A U.S. Marshals spokesman said surrender negotiations through an attorney began late Friday afternoon. Looking ahead, Warren is being held at the county jail in San Francisco. It was unclear if he had an attorney. Latham was being held without bail in Alameda County and faced a Monday court appearance. One of Latham's attorneys, Barry Shepard, in Chicago, said he helped facilitate the peaceful and orderly surrender and expects his client to waive extradition. He said his client is a distinguished scientist with a fantastic record of service. I hope that the public doesn't engage in a rush to judgment against Mr. Latham, Shepard said. The details of the investigation, as they emerge, will hopefully clarify my client's role in whatever did in fact occur. Follow Sophia Tureen on Twitter at https://twitter.com/SophiaTureen. Sign up for the AP's weekly newsletter showcasing our best reporting from the Midwest and Texas at http://apne.ws2u1rmfv. Sign up for the AP's weekly newsletter showcasing our best reporting from the Midwest and Texas http://apne.ws2u1rmfv.